Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learn-automation.com. Today in this lecture, I'm going to talk about how you can deal with multiple elements in WebdriverIO. Okay, so far whatever we have discussed, we have interacted with single element. So in the last lecture, which we have already discussed, that we were using dollar symbol, right, to interact with the elements. We also did couple of operations. So if I show you the last program that we did, so this was our last program. Okay, so let me show you this. So we actually have seen how to work with this dollar symbol, which is basically a find element. And then we have seen couple of methods, right? We have seen set values, clear values, get values, and again, is this clickable enable? And we have seen all this, right? Now we are going to use a symbol called double dollar symbol, which is basically find elements. Okay, the moment you have more than one element, then you have to go with two dollar symbol. So let's see how it works. And it is very important because once you start working with web applications, right, so you will not have just single application or have single elements. You will be dealing with multiple web elements. For example, you have to deal with calendar. For example, you have to deal with auto suggestion. For example, you have to deal with web tables. The moment you have more than one web element, you need to use this find elements, or I will say double dollar symbol. So let's see some official documentation first, then we will implement. The moment you go to APIs, go to elements, and you can see this double dollar symbol. It is equivalent to find elements. Okay, in order to fetch multiple elements on the page. Fine. Now, this is how you can use it. Okay, and they have given again example that if you're working with asynchronous mode, how you can do that, and if you're working with sync mode, how you can do that. As you have seen, we will be working with async mode again in the long run, so we'll continue with this. So I will try to write one example here. So for example, I have taken this application. So focus on the concept, because once you understand the concept, you can apply the same concept for all the web application. Okay. So in this example, as you can see, I have these four social icons, right? So first of all, I will try to find all these elements, and once you understand how this find element works, then you can perform any other operation. So let me quickly write one XPath or one CSS selector so that I can match with all these nodes. As you can see, this is all coming under div section, right? And inside div we have anchor link, and then we have images. So now if I try to write one XPath here, that find a div section which has ID equal to social icons, and you can see we are matching this four div icons. Now I want these images, right? Because I want to, let's say I want to click on these images, or maybe I want to capture the source, or I want to capture this alt. So I will write /img. You can see one by one it is matching all these four nodes. I will copy this, and now I'm going to use the same. Those who are completely new to XPath, that how to write this XPath, then we have discussed a lot how to write XPath. I will give you the link in the description. Please go ahead and watch. So let's continue. So this was our first test just to get started. Then we did this single web element. Now I'm going to create a separate file, and I will give this file name is um, multiple elements. Multiple elements. Give some meaningful name. For this example, I'm giving multiple elements. Now I will continue with the describe. So I will be using describe block. Now, as you can see, I'm getting this auto suggestion. But let me write everything from the scratch so that you should follow exactly the same. So describe is a block. Here the first argument will be the title of the test suite. I will say find multiple elements. Then I need to have one function here. Okay, so now you can just write function, or you can use arrow function. I will write function start and close. Now inside this I can write multiple it block. Okay, so I will write the first it block, and here the first argument again the title of the test. So I will say count number of icons. Okay, that is my first test. Again it will ask you functions. I will say function pair of parenthesis curly bracket start and end. Now this is my first test. Now, as we have seen, browser object. So I'm going to use browser object again, browser dot URL, and I will pass the URL. In our case, this is our URL. Now, in order to deal with multiple web elements, I will be using $2 symbol, pair of parentheses, and inside this, I will be writing my XPath. Okay, so let me copy this. Now, as we have seen, we have to use await here. So await, and now basically this will return you, you know, multiple web elements. So let me store this into a variable. So let me use const here, and I will say all social icons. Okay, this is the variable that I've used. It's a const variable. Now, just to check the length, okay. So basically, I will be using console.log, and I will say all social icons dot length. Okay. Now, basically, this is going to return you an array. Okay, so whatever web elements we're getting, it's coming in a form of array. So I'm calling dot length property so that I can get the length. Okay, so before we execute this, we just have to add async here. Okay, as we have seen in the previous videos, I will use async here. And for this as well, I will be using await. Okay, we are here right now. So in order to run, first of all, I will say npx, and let me do one thing. So in the last example, we have written that once we run this webdriver.io.config file, it is going to run this particular JavaScript file, right? Now we are going to run this multiple elements. So just write multiple elements here. Okay, multiple elements.js. Now let's run this. So in order to run your WebDriver IO scripts, we have seen in the past that how we have to run. We just need to use npx WebDriver IO run. And now basically we are going to run this particular file that we have configured here in WebDriver IO, right? So I will simply use dot, then I will use WebDriver io.config.js. So it's going to pick the browser, find the social icon, and now it is only printing the length. So let's run this. So once we get the length, then we'll put some assertion. As of now, let's wait. And you can see execution of one worker started. And yes, it's starting Chrome. You will see it will load that URL. And here we go. Can you see the count is 4? Since we're not adding any additional statements, it is just giving 4. But let's say if you want to add some statement, I will say count of links are, it will give you this statement as well. Okay, so let's assert this value. Okay, so what I will do, I will be using now assert, which comes by default with JavaScript. So I will be using require, and now I will be importing something called assert. Okay, and now I'm going to store this into a variable. Okay, so let me use var assert, and this assert I will be using for assertion. Fine. So basically this is a inbuilt module so that we are importing. Then I will be using this assert for further. So I will type assert, and then if you put dot, as you can see now this equals has been deprecated, deep equals has been deprecated. So I'm going to use this something called strict equal. So when two values are not equal, okay, whether it's a type of value, it's going to throw error. So in our case, now if you put mouse over on this, you can see it is actual versus expected. So what is actual for us? For us, the actual is this count, which is 4, right? And expected is for us is 4. This is actual, which is coming from the web application, and this is expected 4. If it works, it will pass. If it fails, it's going to, if it is not matching, it's going to fail our test. And you can also give an optional message that in case, if you just put mouse over, as you can see message, this message will only come if the test is getting failed. And so I will just write here that count is not, or count mismatch. Fine. So now let's run once again and let's see. So I'm going to run this once again. And once this assertion is done, it will pass. In the second iteration, I'm going to change this value and I will show you if this count is not matching, it should fail. So yes, it started. It should load and yes, passed. The count of the links are 4. Now let me change it to purposefully 5. So this is going to return 4. This is actually mismatch, and we will get the test case fail and it should give this message. So let's run once again. So this is the first example where we're just capturing the length, and in the second example we are going to iterate all these elements. We are trying to capture some values, then we'll write up one if else condition and we'll see how it works. And here we go. It was about to fail and yes, it failed. 0 pass, 1 failed, and if you see, it says count number of icon failed. Actual was 4, expected is 5. Can you see this in different colors? So this is how you can put proper assertion. Now let's do one more thing. Let's click on some link based on some conditions. Okay, so as of now, if you come back here, you can see I have 4 links, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So let's say I want to iterate all this and I want to click the moment I find Twitter. So I will find all the social icon, then run a for loop. I will check the condition. If the image alternate text equal to Twitter, then click on it. So you can write in the same test case, but I will create another test case and I will just do the copy paste and I will type here called click on, let's say, Twitter. Okay, so in this case, this will remain same. This will remain same because we need this array. So this is array of web elements. Okay, if you want, let's print this because just additional value. Now I'm going to run a write a small for loop which will basically iterate all these social icons one by one. So I'm going to start with again a very I will say standard for loop, but you can use for each as well. So I'm going to start from 0, then I will iterate till the count of this social icon. So I will say I should be less than equal to, depends on the length of the social icon. So this is going to return as 4, right? So it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, and every time I will increment by 1. So within this for loop, we are going to write condition that capture some of the values from here, then write some conditions. Now, if I go back to this application, as you can see, these images have one alt text, right? Can you see this? LinkedIn orange HRM. If I open this, it says orange HRM on Facebook. If we open the third one, orange HRM on Twitter. So this is the alt attribute that we need to capture. So now here I'm going to write again await, and if you notice, this is our array, right? How do we access the arrays elements? Using indexes, right? So in bracket I will pass the index. So in our case we are passing I, so this is going to pass 0 first, then 1, 2, 3. Now I will be using something called get attribute because we want to capture the attribute, right? Which attribute we are looking for? We are looking for attribute called alt. So this is going to return us the attribute, and let me simply print this. So I will print here console.log, then I will say values from images, and then I will just use this. Okay, this is what exactly I want to print as it is. From here I will capture the alt attribute. Now I'm going to write a condition. Okay, the condition is if this contains Twitter, or if this equal to this, click on it. So in my case, let's say I want to click on this Twitter part. So I will write if this alt, which is coming as a string, is equal to orange HRM on Twitter. Okay, in that case, we want to click, right? Now, where to click? We want to click on this particular element, right? So I will say dot click. Now, the moment you click, obviously it's going to open in a new tab. Now, if you want to switch to the different tab or window, you can do that. But this is what this tutorial will cover as of now. It is going to iterate one by one. The moment it will find orange HRM on Twitter, it will click. Then I'm going to close it. Just to show you that it is opening in a new tab, I will give a pause of 5 seconds or 10 seconds. It's just for your understanding. Otherwise, it's not needed. And main important point, the break. Because if I don't bring it, will again go ahead and search for the remaining elements, right? Which we don't need. Right now it's just 4, so it will stop at 3. But consider if you have 40 or maybe let's say 100. And if your condition is getting satisfied on line number, or say, let's say 30th element, I don't want to continue. So break. So let me repeat this loop again. It will start from 0. It will go till basically indexes 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Every time it is going to pass 0. So first element capture the attribute we are printing. Inside this if condition, we are checking if the value that we are capturing from alt attribute is equal to orange on Twitter. No. Continue the second element. I will be 1. It will take the second element. Continue. If it is equal to Twitter, if no, again it will continue third one. At the third iteration, it is going to get the alt attribute. It will get orange HRN on Twitter. It will enter inside this. It will click. And just to see that it's opening a new tab, we have added browser.pause of 5 seconds. And then we are breaking this. So basically, it is going to run 2 test cases. First test case is basically only to get the count. In the second test case, we are clicking and we are not switching as of now. Okay, that is a different lecture altogether, how to switch to the new tab or a window. As of now, I want to show the use case that yes, if you have more than one web element, how you can run a for loop, how you can run a condition. So this is the first test, I guess. Total count is 4, and you can see it also printed the first 3. Can you see total 2 test case execute? This is passed. Click on Twitter also pass, and if you see, this is the output coming from the second test case, and it printed LinkedIn, then Facebook and Twitter. After Twitter, it clicked, so it did not print that YouTube part. As you can see, it's very easy now, right? Only thing that you need to understand is some basics of JavaScript. That if you know how to, import any module, you can easily import any additional module. In our case, we have imported assert, and then we did the verification. We have seen how to work with find elements, which is equal to $2 symbol. Once you call this, it will return you an array. We called dot length property, and we were getting the count. In the second test case, we got the array, then we did a small for loop. This for loop is running from 0 to 3, and each and every time we are just printing the value. And here we written the condition. If it is equal to Twitter, go ahead, click on it, wait for 5 seconds and break it. So that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you got something new and interesting. If yes, then make sure you share with your friends, colleagues, those who are interested in WebdriverIO. And yeah, support this channel by subscribing. So if you have any other question, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.